Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing color by number. Now, if you haven't done this in a while, and although some of the viewers on this channel are extremely young, uh, I can't imagine that many of you are necessarily going to recognize this immediately. But if you may remember from either your childhood or from your kids that essentially there used to be these sketchbooks out there where they would give you essentially areas to color, but they would deliberately place a number so that you know what color to place in there. So that's really what I went with this particular title, that Sleuth is at a nursery home, not a nursery home, just a nursery, with a bunch of kids, and they're all coloring. I don't know why he's holding a pen rather than a crayon. I'm sure everybody else is using a crayon, but you never quite understand what Sleuth is doing and why. Now, this particular puzzle, so it is a 2-star difficulty rated puzzle, but when I sort of took a look at it, I think it's going to be slightly more approachable than 2-star. I don't know. And Will brought it to my attention as something that is a little bit underappreciated. So it's got a 94% rating, but it's only got less than 100 solves. So hopefully we're going to be able to do a little bit better than that, and I'm absolutely certain it's going to be fantastic. Let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule sets. So we have color by number from Willpower. Just briefly, somebody brought to my attention a little while ago now. It's not a little while ago, it was today for me, but roughly a week ago for you, that the rules were not necessarily very legible. And the individual pointed out that it's probably down to the color. Then I played with the color a little bit and it just wasn't visible. I think it had to do with the weight of the font. So I've just bumped it up a bit and hopefully it's a lot more readable for you guys. Anyhow, distractions aside, we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. That's the normal one. Now, today, I'm going to say that's a new variant. At least for me it is. I haven't seen this one before. We have summing lines. So, different colored lines, and you can see that we have 4 of them, blue, green, red, orange. Yeah, 4 of them, are all of different values. The number in each cell that contains 1 or more lines is the sum of the values of all the lines that go to the center of that cell. So the way I'm sort of interpreting this is, let's say green is 2 and orange is red. Once we get to a cell that has both lines, then you take the individual values of each line and you add them up in here. The reds in box 3 and box 7 are each considered only 1 red line. So I assume what Will is saying is that these cells are just red, as opposed to they are 3 times red. So if red, for example, is 1, then this would be 1 as opposed to it would be 3. Cells without any lines can be any number. And then, of course, last but not least, we've got the KROPKI pairs. Numbers with a black dot between them are in a ratio of 2 to 1. So if this cell here is a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4, so that one cell is double the other. And not all possible dots are given. So a 2 in here with a 4 there, without a black dot is not a problem. Once again, pencil marks off. So that's all the rules we have for today. We're clearly going to be doing a lot of coloring. Will did hint on that in his email. So if you want to join Sleuth in this nursery to color this grid, that's our sketchbook basically for today. Link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock, see how I get on. So I'm not entirely sure if what I want to do is use colors or letters, and I think I'm going to go for colors. So we know that these cells are green, and therefore they're just whatever the value of that line is. They're just green. And then these cells are blue, and they're just blue. These cells are red, and they're just red. And you can see there's a lot of tension around box 5 already. So clearly going to have to look a bit around that. Then orange. Orange is quite interesting as well. So is red, to be fair. They're all interesting. And orange is just orange. And I'm going to have to try and come up with some colors that make sense. So I'm thinking additive, as in blue and green makes yellow. Blue and red makes purple. What would blue and green do? This is not distinguishable. Some sort of light blue, not distinguishable either. I'm going to call it gray. I don't know. I'm going to ignore it for a second. Blue and, yeah, that was purple. Yellow. Orange and blue. I have no idea. This will be yellow. This will be purple. I mean, if you haven't spotted it already, I'm basically trying to use like additive colors to try and figure out something that would just be consistent, but I'm not sure I'm necessarily going to manage. So this is going to be like light yellow, which is not going to happen. I don't know. Yeah, I've lost the color scheme. Okay, we'll come back to these. Right. So what is it? What is all of this telling me? Is the question I should be asking right now. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a moment trying to just wrap my mind around all of this. Like, essentially, I'm just wondering what kind of combination of things works. You see, red is not in any of these, and red can't be on the line where it's additive. So red is actually its own cell here. Let's work through box 5 for a second. Blue is none of these. It's also none of these. Blue, again, is separate. I think maybe that's what we're trying to figure out is these colors, and frankly, these colors, I really need to give them a color. So I'm going to go with gray and black. Can't think of something better. And I think what that's saying is if you just use Sudoku, these are all unique colors. I think it's saying that. Because you see, the construction of this tells me that green is none of these, green is none of these, green. So, you know, potentially one of them is in cell 5. But the key thing is that they are all different, I believe. Let's keep going. Orange, yeah, none of these. That's orange. So if you think around about it, but actually, no, I could have, no. Yes, so orange, red, green, and blue are all definitely different. So they all can't be in this cell. At most, only one of them is. So that's 4 different colors, and importantly, 4 different numbers. And notice that these 4 different colors do not overlap. Yes, they don't overlap. No reds, Sudoku, not the yellow or purple. Red is always in white squares, and the same is true for all the others. So yellow, purple, gray, and black and gray are also all different numbers again. Okay, this is starting to get fairly interesting now. And I just spotted something else. This is very interesting. Right. Look at some Sudoku. Orange. Orange. That's the key. Orange is none of these cells. Sudoku. Orange is none of these cells. Sudoku. Orange is the combination of red, blue, and yellow. So this is quite a big number. This is at least 6, 7, 8, or 9. And I'm going to suspect it, yeah, it can't be 6. Here, let me show you why. I'm just going to make up some numbers. Let's assume for a second that red is 1, green is 2, blue is 3. Now, if that is the case, now I'm adding blue and red. This would be 4. Now I'm adding red and green. This would have to be 3, which would break. It has to be a different one. So I need to use a combination in here that is bigger than 6. It can't be 1, 2, 3. Otherwise, I would end up repeating one of the sums in here. So this makes orange at least 7. And orange is a maximum of 7. Take a look at box 5. Orange is being added to green and blue, and they're coming up with a single digit. So given green and blue are different, we know that, they have to be 1, 2, and these two, gray and black, have to be 8 and 9, and therefore this entire setup has to be 1, 2, 4, and the red has to be the 4 because this is the 1, 2. We've got it. Right. 1, 2. 1, 2. Am I going to do this? That feels a bit silly. Here's better. This is 8, 9. This is 8, 9. We can actually use the black KROPKI dot early. Which of these two cells can be on a black KROPKI dot? Let's give you a clue. It's not the 9. That's not 4.5 or 18. So that is the 8. That's the 9. And then repeat that. That's 9. That's 8. And then we know that orange is 7, which will tell us, using this color scheme, this has to be the 1 and 7 to get to 8. So the blue is the 1. Green is the 2. And obviously, black KROPKI dot, this has to be the 4. This is a red. I don't know if I'm going to keep the colors, by the way, for much longer. You can do a bit of Sudoku like this. This is another 4. That's red. 4. 4 and 1, that's 5. That's 6. That's all of these are 4 now. 4 and 1, that's 5. That's 6. 6. 5. And that's orange again. That's 7. Fantastic. Now, orange, you can see, is forced in box 5. We can probably just complete box 5, actually. And blue has to be in here, and green has to be in here. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is another digit 3. 1 and 2, 3. Have I done all the arrows? I think I have done all the arrows. It's just Sudoku from here. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to keep the rainbows, by the way. I mean, especially the 8 and 9. I mean, these are like, I can't read them. Oh, that's another 4. So let's just double check. 1s, 1s, 1, 1. That's 1. 1, 1, 1. That's 1. And I think that's all the 1s. That's 9. Yep. 2s. That's 2. And I need 1 in here as well. That's 2. That's 9 2s. Yep. 3s, I only have 2 of them. 4s, maybe. Only one that's missing. This cell. That's 9 again. Okay, now we're getting on to, 7. 7 we can probably finish. 7. And yeah, 7. Right. Now we're getting onto the digits that we don't have many examples of. So this is 3, 6, and it's not a 3. That's a 6, and that's a 3. This is 5, 8, 9. Not very helpful. This is the 8. I'm going to do this. Let me just keep looking for easy wins. Uh, 3, 5, 6. Not 5, not 6. Not very helpful. 3, 8, 9. Not very helpful again. Maybe these kind of almost nearly complete rows and columns. So this is 589 that's missing. Okay, 5889. I'm just going to focus on... Problem is, if I start doing this, I'm going to lose track of what I'm meant to spot that would help me move forward. So I'm more tempted to focus on pairs than anything else. And Sudoku, that would just give me, freebies. How about that? That's 3, 6. That can't be 6. That's 3. That's 6. I need 5. So this is 3, 5. Not sure which is which. These will be, well, 6 is not none of these. That's the 6. And then this is an 8, 9 pair. 5, 8, 3. These two cells specifically are 3, 8. 5, 3, 8. Three can place in here. It's literally there. And I can't place a 3 here. I can't place a 3 there or a 3 here. Okay. So we're done with 3s for the moment. 5s. That's a 5. These are 5s. 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 Not very helpful. Maybe I'm just making this a bit more awkward for myself and I should just pencil mark. So this is 6, 8, 9, 5. And this is not 6 or 8. This is 5 or 9. I mean, it was there in the column. One of these is 6. Let me use corner pencil marks for a second. This is not a 5, so this is 8 or 9. And this is not a 9, this is 5 or 8. Eight, 9 again. We need 6, 8, 9. That's not a 6. That's 8, 9. The 8, 9s are starting to look a bit promising. That has to be a 6 then. This has to be another 5, 8. Kind of have a same thing going on here. Maybe worthwhile coloring the 8, 9s. Maybe. And this cell is 5, 8, or 9. Well, we're back to triplets again, and this is 6, 8, 9s, I guess. Oh, this is not a 5. Don't know. Let's do something. I'm just gonna... Let's lose all the colors. They serve their purpose. So I can just get some more colors back. And then maybe color these. Purple, blue, purple. Don't know where I was going with this. This is, oh, not 8 or 9. It is useful, right? 5 blue. And therefore purple. And therefore purple. Right, that's exciting. Well, we know purple is one of these. Less exciting. 8, 9 pair, sleuth, come on. 5, another 3, 8. And it's not an 8, it's a 3, it's an 8, it's a 3. 8, 9 pair. No, okay. One of these is purple. How do I know what it is? I don't yet. I do know what this is. That's a 6. That is a 6. That is not 5 or 6. So this is another 8, 9, which gives me blue, which makes this purple, blue. And therefore this is another digit, which is 5, which gives me an 8 and a 9. And there you go. And then that will just flow. And I need a 3, which is in here. And then if I've not made any mistakes, 9 for the finish. That's a fantastic puzzle, Will. I mean, thank you so much for bringing it to my attention. I nearly missed it. And yeah, pretty smooth solve. I think once you do a bit of coloring and Sudoku, I'll read it to you. Wanted to make sure you had the opportunity to see color by number on LMD. This should be of no problem for you if you start off in coloring/coloring mood. I like the fact that Willpower actually spelt it in both color without a U and with a U. I guess so that he's using the King's English. What a fantastic puzzle. I hope that we do get to see this variant again, Will, or other constructors, and that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and video. See you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.